Okay, I appear to be back on the internet after some time taking a break. More for me, less for you. This is about tracking the hobby backlog. I am Alexi, and this is Alexi Does. This video is one that you don't need to watch. You can just put it aside and listen to it. This is a quick overview of my goals for 2025 in the hobby and my goals from 2024, which was set in a video last January 11th-ish was when that one went up. We're going to see if I achieved those goals, and if I didn't, perhaps why that is. I think overall we achieved the intentions I set for the year, which was paint more models, play more games, do more tabletop role-playing type stuff. We did all of those things. So the intention for being active and involved in the hobby happened. My intention to record that content and catalog it for myself and put it up on the internet for other people to watch, that one probably didn't happen. And that fell off really when we went to the UK for a month. After that, the motivation was lacking, but the hobby continued. So, as I said, you don't need to watch this one. You've either just seen an upload going over every single model I painted in 2024, or that video is about to come out. So, one way or another, if you want to see physical models, there is another video coming out or is already out for you. This one's just sort of the maths behind it all. So, we'll start with the goals. I'll put up a graphic on screen, but the goals were to paint 150 models, play a game of Middle Earth strategy battle games, play more Blood Bowl, DM at least 2 more One Ring sessions, produce 12 videos, and then there was some specific models that I wanted to paint. So let's go through them one by one. Paint 150 models. Did we do that? No, we did not. We actually painted less models than we did last year. We painted 97 models this year. And I suppose the context for that is within that 150 model goal, there was at least 60 Goblin Town warriors, which if you watched last year's video, I painted about 70 of. I wanted to paint all the models I have of those in my collection, have about 130 of them available to do crazy horde armies and build massive lists. And ultimately, new edition dropped, redid some maths, talks to a friend, Jesse. Don't actually need all those models. So it was always in the back of my head that over that Christmas break, I would spam paint very quickly, just bang out 60 goblins. And in the end, I actually didn't need to. Now, I did paint some Goblin Town models technically after January 1st, which you will see in a future video probably. But that army's done. So whilst I didn't hit the quantity target, I did paint the same amount of models I was planning to, just without the goblins, because I don't actually need the goblins. So I'm happy with that. Obviously, I would love to have hit 150 models. That would have been great. It didn't happen. Maybe it will this year. Again, that will be the goal this year, 150 models. Play a game. Did I play a game of Middle Earth strategy battle game? Yes, I did. I played 2, sort of, in the UK at Warhammer World with my mate Andrew. We had a fantastic time. Shout out to you, Andrew. I didn't know what I was doing at the time, really. I was kind of just being puppeted around. But I played the game. And then subsequently, I had a couple of sessions with other people just doing the introductory, wasn't even current rules, it was introductory Hobbit scenarios, learning how that works. I had a vague idea of how that looked. Got a little bit of game, so yes, I did play our game. But the good news is that the new goal for this year is to play in an event, and we've already achieved that. So at the start of January, we've played in one narrative event and haven't got tickets because tickets aren't on sale yet, committed to doing at least 2 more. So played a game, and the new goal is not just to play a game, it's to play an event, which we've ticked off. So hopefully, well, the intention is to play in at least 2 more events this year, which will speak to what's on the table this year. In fact, you know what? We will show some models that are on the table in this video. Wanted to play more Blood Bowl. Yes, played a shitload of Blood Bowl primarily with my mate Bryn, but introduced a couple of other people to the game. Love it. It's super fun. DM1 Ring, I wanted to do 2 more sessions. Well, I think we ended up doing about, including character creation and doing all the introduction sessions and all that sort. I think we did about 8 sessions across the year, and some of those sessions went for like 6 hours. So finished the introduction campaign that comes with One Ring, and have also smashed through the start of another campaign with some adventurers. So that is happening. It's hard to do it as regularly as I would like, but that is happening, and we absolutely ticked that one off. 12 videos, we did not do 12 videos, and I'm okay with that. Model goals. So I wanted to paint the Fellowship of the Ring. Tick. Yes, we painted that. Barlam's Tomb. Tick. Yes, we painted that. Thorin's Company. No, it was on the table all year and it never got painted. Guild Ball models. No, on the table all year, never got painted. Star Wars models. There was 6 I wanted to paint. I painted 1 and then cracked the shits. And then the Lizardmen Blood Bowl team. Yes, we painted all those. Then throughout the year, I added some more things to that target. Of those, it was only really Gollum and a few more Goblin Town models that got painted. So, what's next? Well, before we jump to the table and look at what's on the table, we're just going to do some quick maths. So, at the start of 2024, I had 1,054 models in my collection. I had 396 painted models with a backlog of 658. In this instance, I'm saying backlog as... Normally I count backlog as models I actually intend on painting. This is just easier for the maths. This is just all the models that are somewhere in a box or a shelf or whatever. 658. So to reduce that backlog by 10%, which is always a secondary goal for the year, we needed to paint 66 models and not purchase any others. Well, we painted 66 models. We painted more than that. We certainly purchased models. So in 2025, I added a whopping 383 models to my collection. There is some asterisks here. Painted 97 models this year, which meant that adding to my collection was 286 unpainted models. So to start 2025, my total collection is 1,437 models, 458 of which are painted, which leaves a backlog of 979, meaning I need to paint 98 models, not buy any more, which isn't going to happen, to reduce it by 10%. It's a big collection. There's a few asterisks, which I'm just putting here for my own sanity and for anyone who might be financially invested in my life who is watching this. Not the vast majority, about a third of the models that were added to the collection this year were gifted to me. 125 came from this box, the French starter set for Black Powder, which I bought in the UK at Warlord Games headquarters as a bit of a kind of, I don't know, I was there, so I thought I should, I'm never going to have a chance to look at all their range and be in a cool studio setup, and I bought it. This 125 models may never leave this box. That's a real reality that may happen. They may just stay in the cupboard forever. I almost don't want to count them as part of the backlog because I don't currently have any intention of painting these. But for the moment, the numbers are there. The second thing that added a chunk of models is this. War of Rohirrim. The new starter set for Middle-earth strategy battle game. I was always going to buy that. I was always going to buy that because, and this is the other remaining chunk of the models I added to the collection this year, the army I bought at Warhammer World from the UK, which I'm looking at, which is on my table for the next part of the video. Well, they half of them got wiped out and replaced by the models in this box. Also, new sick models. Was always going to get it. Came with the rule book. I'm all in on actually playing the game this year. That was always going to be purchased. And then the final one is probably just, I got another Blood Bowl team, which is on the table, hasn't been painted yet. So the majority of the models, yes, I purchased. 125 of them are probably wasted because I'm probably not going to ever get around to doing them. And then the other, however much, 100 models were gifted to me. So that's just some asterisks to help justify and make myself feel better. But ultimately, I like having models that I can just pull out and paint, so I'm not feeling bad about it. Now, we're going to jump over to the table, look at what the plan is for this year in terms of the actual models that I'm targeting to paint, which there's only a few on the table at the moment, and then you'll see, or will have already seen, the video going over what those 97 painted models from 2024 were. Okay, well, the first thing that we're going to look at that's on my table is this Blood Bowl team. This is the Chaos Dwarf Blood Bowl team. I have a couple of the very, very cool, high quality resin, what are they called? Bull Centaurs, something like that. Basically, and this is, there's not really any details. This is a Blood Bowl team. I want to play them. I have all the accessories for them. The only reason I haven't played them is because I don't want to play them when they're unpainted. So they need to be painted. But I have slightly more pressing matters in the next thing that's on the table, but these will happen this year. These will happen sooner than later, and I'm thinking of painting them in some sort of fluorescent type setup. I've got no idea what I'm going to make them look like, but I want them to be super bright. I'm thinking pink is going to be a core color in it. I just don't know how it's going to come out. I don't even know how these paints really work, but I've had them for years and years, and it's about time we gave them a crack. So these are on the table. They will be painted sooner than later. This is the other thing that's on my table. It's a little bit out of focus because I'm just shooting on the phone here, but this is a more than half painted army if I'm allowed to proxy in the models that are already painted. So this is my Hill Tribes army for a 700 point tournament. This is exactly, by pure coincidence, 700 points as produced and painted. So we have the new Hill Tribe two-handed weapon blokes, and I reckon these guys can obviously be the same model because they're just the older sculpt, and I don't see any reason why this bloke couldn't be proxied in as a two-handed weapon holder, which gives me 17 of those. I've got these three guys, which I'm going to use as, these two are going to be Hill Tribe Chieftains with two-handed weapons. And this is a Hill Tribe Chieftain with one-handed weapon. It's not a very efficient list in terms of the cost and all that sort of stuff from a game perspective. We've got the four guys with brands, two with shield, two without. Why have I built it that way? Because that's what the narrative tournament sort of suggested. Then we're going to attempt to pick up this camera and move it forward. Then we have 6 blokes that are just basic weapon and shield, 4 spearmen, 6 guys that are just holding weapons, no shields. Then we have 12 bowmen, 2 Crabane, and the heroes up the back. And so, presuming the tournament accepts those proxies, and I think they're all very clear what they are, that's a 700 point list, which leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26-ish models to paint. Don't know if that maths works out. That's about how much I have left to do, and I think this happens sooner than the Blood Bowl team. So that's all that's on the table right now. Other than that, it's a free year where we can do whatever we want. Maybe this will be the year I do Thorin's company, but that's what we've got.